Hey YouTube, today we are going to continue on nested if-else statements. So in a layman term, sorry about that. In a layman term, a nested if-else statement is a combination of multiple if-else statements. So let's start. So today we are going to create a basic grading system to show how nested if-else statement works. So I've already declared an integer. I've given it declared as integer. Now let me prompt the user to enter a value. Please enter a value between 100 and 0. And then this value, I'm going to store it in the x variable. So now we'll create an if-else statement. So if and we give it those are we put the opening and closing curly brackets, and then inside the normal brackets we are going to put our condition. Now say if x is sorry about that less than put a space so that you can be easy to learn. It's less than or equal to 100 and x, and you remember the and symbol, so I've declared x is greater than or equal to 75, then you print out you print out the grade is a sorry, the score is an A, from when you can end line. So from the previous tutorial we had said else, we had done something like this, else, then opening and closing curly brackets. You can note that the else statement does not have the condition clause. Here this is the condition clause, so the else statement only has the opening and the calling and the closing curly brackets. So there is an error. So in our previous tutorial we had a code similar to the one as shown. Let us run. If we see if there's an error, let's say 90. Okay, let me correct that. Then I'll leave a space, then refresh, run the program. What's happening? Okay, sorry. sorry about that. So please enter a value. You can say 78. Its score is an A. So you have seen it works. Now, if what we had done on the previous day, if that value is not between that range, it will just print an error. What if we want to check for multiple conditions? Now this is where the nested if else statement starts to be of use. For example, now we'll create a nested if else statement here. We start with else. Not that we are starting with else, not if else, it's else if. I just not about that, because if you confuse, I think it won't work. Okay, I think it will work. We're gonna try. Now we can put another condition that if x is less than 75, and else greater than, and x greater than equal to 60, then we can print that's a B. That is B. The score is an A, the score is B. For B, so we can print here. The score is a B. Now look, we can notice that in this given program, unlike the previous program, we have to evaluate different condition and give different outcome from the different condition that the program anticipates. So now our condition will not just check for one condition, but it will check for two conditions. Now let us put a value. Let's say 70. You can see that's a B. It checked if 70 lies between 100 and if 70 is less than 100, then that condition was true. What about is also x greater than 75? No. Now this all condition evaluated to false. Now it goes to the second condition. It checks, is x less than 75? True. Is x greater than 60? True. Is 70 less than 75? True. Is 70 greater than or equal to 60? True. So those conditions are satisfied. Now the second condition is printed out the same way. Now let's continue. Let's copy, and just since it's just a repetition of the same line of code, there's no need to write it more than once. You can just copy it there. Okay, let me. So now is okay. Second condition is, let's say 60. Is it less than 60? We are using if we put here greater than or equal to 60, then then it forces us to put here less than. If we put here equal, then this condition at some point, if someone puts 60, then these two conditions, all of them will be satisfied. So that's why we are not putting here an equal sign, just so that somebody maybe is confused as I'm explaining that. Okay, that's a C. Okay, let's put 45. I think what is too low for a C. Okay, 47. Let's say 47. But at least 47 is good for a C. Now let's rerun our program again. Let's put a value between 60 and 47. you can choose a value between 60 and 47 can be 55. Now that's a C. Why? It evaluates these conditions. It evaluates, is 60 less than 100? Yes. Is 60 greater than 75? No. Now it can't print the first curly brackets. It goes to the second condition. Is 60 less than 75? Yes. Is 60 greater than, is 55 greater than 60? No. Now the second curly bracket is not printed. We go to the third condition. Is 55 less than 60? Yes. Is 55 greater than 47? Yes. Now that condition is printed out. Now we can evaluate the last one to check for grade D. Okay, we can change grade D. So you can put here, give, now for us not to miss any value, we have to put this 47 here. Since after 47, if it's equal to that 47, then it evaluates to this condition. But given if it is just less than 47, then this condition, it goes to the fourth condition. I hope you are getting the logic behind it. So, but I'm happy to explain for those who. 47 if it's greater than, okay, what can be a D? 47 to, let's say 30, 39. So 39, if somebody gets 39, that's still a D. So you can let's say if somebody gets 42, let's say this is a D. Since 42 is less than 47 and 42 is greater than 39. Now this evaluates the D. 42, if you put here 42 is less than 60, okay, but 42 is not greater than 47. 47 is greater than 42. Therefore, this condition cannot be evaluated. It goes to the fourth condition. Now we can put the last one for an E. Now, this condition will check if a number is less than 35. No, there's no need for the second condition. Any number that is less than 39 will evaluate it to an E. So any value from 39 to 0, it's an E. Else, there's an error since that number has not been evaluated. So let's start. If we put here 38, since 38 is less than 39, it will evaluate to an E. Let's see, that's correct. Now, but if none of these conditions is met, none of these conditions that have been predefined in this bracket, the if bracket and the else if bracket, this condition, if none of these conditions have been met, then we can conclude an error has occurred. We can conclude that an error has occurred. So if we put a number, if it's that is greater than number that doesn't meet any condition, it will evaluate to an error as occurred. Why? 788 is greater than 100. Therefore, this condition is not met. 788 is not less than 100. Therefore, this condition is not executed. 788 is not less than 75. Therefore, this condition is not executed. 788 is not less than 60. Therefore, this condition cannot be executed. And then 788 is not less than 47. Therefore, this condition cannot be executed. 788 is definitely not less than 39. Therefore, this condition cannot be executed. What then can we do then with these numbers? We can just give a general. If none of the conditions have been met, then we can say an error has occurred given because the program has failed to grade that value. Therefore, we can conclude that an error has occurred. So that's all for today. You can put any number, even if negative 90, negative 900 is less than 39. Therefore, you say that's an E. I hope you can see it's even if the bad thing about this program, we have to put away in such a way it cannot accept the char, since every char variable it's it's evaluated as a 0, so it will evaluate to 0 if you put any non-numeric value. You should put even 7.90. Not that it will take the new part, and if we say 7.0 E1, it still evaluate to why is it evaluated? You don't understand why, but it's evaluated still to E. Okay, it's not wise to know that. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you.